Hello all, welcome to this online recording sessions in data science. So in this Python programming session, we are going to see exception handling. Okay, so what is this exception handling? Okay, so if you take any programming language, whether it is Java, Python, C, C++, whatever it may be, so we'll get various errors. Since we are working on programming part, we get various errors, right? Whether it may be syntax error, logical error, or it may be so and so any error. Okay, so in order to handle those kinds of errors, we have a concept called exception handling. Okay, so in context to Python, so what we have in exception handling part, we are going to see here. So generally when we are working with Python programming, we have syntax errors and exceptions. Okay, so errors are the, what is the difference between errors and exceptions? Errors are problems in program due to which program will stop the execution. Okay, so in errors, stops. Okay, programming stops, programming is stopped. Okay, but on the other hand, if you take exceptions, so on the other hand we have exceptions. Okay, when some intervals events occur which change the normal flow of a program. Okay, change in normal flow. Okay, change in normal flow of a program. Okay, this is the difference between errors and exception. So whenever anyone says I got an error, that means your programming gets stopped. Okay, it is getting interrupted and the execution, entire thing, it's getting stopped in between. Okay, in exception, what you can see, there is a flow of change. Okay, there is a change in flow of a program. Okay, everything is correct, but you are getting an exception. The code is correct, but the flow of the programming part is getting error. Okay, getting interrupted. That's why we are calling it as exception. Okay, yeah, why we need to handle exception? Okay, what is the advantages of exception handling? That means we can improve program reliability. Okay, you can prevent your program from crashing. Okay, you can prevent our programming from crashing. Simplified error handling. Okay, with the help of exceptions, we can know where the really exceptions are getting done. So then there we can handle with some special functions like try, catch, and finally. Okay, so with the help of these three statements in Python programming, we'll try to handle the exception. So in try part, we have main logic. Okay, main logic will be present here. So in catch part, we'll catch the exception. So whatever the code part is there, we try to write in the try. Okay, in try part, we'll write the main logic part. So in that main logic part, if you get any error or exception, okay, since it is an exception, if you get any exception, that gets handled in the catch block. Okay, or accept block. Okay, whereas in finally, irrespective of try and catch, whatever it is present to be executed, whether it is exception or whether it is error, irrespective of these two, whatever the code is present in final block, it gets executed. Okay, okay, so for cleaner code, we need exception handling. For easier debugging also, we need exception handling. Okay, so these are the advantages of exception handling. Okay, next, different types of exceptions in Python. Okay, what are the different types of exceptions we have? We have syntax error, type error, name error, index error, key error, value error, input output error, zero division error, input error. Okay, syntax error occurs when we have syntaxally wrong. Okay, so in print statement, we have opening closing bracket. In while we are using if statement, we have colons. Okay, or if or while condition, we have colons. Okay, so if you don't enclose this colons, or in print statement, if you don't close any bracket, opening bracket or closing bracket, so in that case we get an syntax error because syntax is wrong. Okay, next, type error. Type error, when it will occur? It will occur when you are trying to add string plus integer. Okay, so when you are adding two numbers 20 plus 30, this both are integers, fine. But if you add string plus integer, it is error, right? It should be also either string or integer. Okay, so in this case you get, okay, type error. Okay, name error. So when does name error occurs? In case of, if we call any function or variable, if that function or variable is not present in our code, then we get name error. Okay, index error. Index error occurs in mostly in list. Okay, so in list we generally access the elements by with the help of index number, right? Okay, so in that case, if that particular index is absent, then we'll get index error. Okay, same case with the help of tuple set dictionary also. If any index element is not present, we'll get index error. Key error, it will occur in dictionary. Okay, key error occurs in dictionary. If any key is not present in the elements that we described in dictionary, then we get key error. Value error. Okay, when the method is called with an invalid argument or input. Okay, if you call an method with an invalid argument, so suppose if I am asking integer, okay, input as integer, but we are giving it as string or any complex. In that case, what happens? If I'm asking one thing, you are giving one thing, that means that is value error. Okay, the value is wrong. So IO error. IO error occurs when file handling. Okay, so when files are present, when files are not able to perform some operation, in that case we get IO error. Okay, zero division error. Okay, so if you are dividing any number with 0, okay, in that case we get zero division error. Okay, import error, when you are importing any commands, okay, with import. So import statements we have, right? Import pandas, import numpy, like that. So when in that case, if it is not able to import, means we'll get import error. Okay, import statement fails to find or load a module. Okay, so these are different types of exceptions. Okay, so now let us see all these exceptions in platform called ideally. Okay, Python ideally. Okay, we'll take this environment. So in this environment, I'll try to show all types of errors that occurs in Python. Okay, so I have mentioned previously, right? We have Google Colab. In Anaconda, we have Jupyter Lab, Jupyter Notebook. Okay, Notebook, VS Code. Okay, all this, right? So we have all these three platforms to execute Python programming, right? So in this case, we'll take Python ideally and see its features and try to write some code in it. Okay, in search button, you need to type ideally. So Python ideally, you'll get like this. So double click it, it will get open. Okay, it is a welcome page. Okay, so in ideally, this is a welcome page. You can see here which version it is. Okay, so in welcome page, you avoid writing code. Okay, take file, new file. Okay, so if you take new file, okay, you'll get like this. Okay, so this is the new file I have taken. Okay, so in this new file, let us see these options. We have file. So in file, new file, open. We can open previous ones. Okay, previous Python files. Open module, recent files. Okay, whatever the recent files that I worked in ideally, that will be shown here. Okay, remember this is an offline. So most of the programs we have done in Google Colab, that is online, but this is offline. Okay, save as. So you can see all this. Okay, so now let us see some errors. Okay, first one is syntax error. Okay, syntax error. Okay, syntax error. Okay, let me take a equal to 10, b equal to 20, c equal to a plus b, print c. Okay, you need to save file, say, okay, file, save as. So you need to give file name here. So I'm giving file name as exceptions dot ipynb. So I told you in Python the file extensions will be in ipynb or .ipy. Okay, so I will save it in downloads. Okay, you can see here. So then you can confirm your file is got saved. Now you need to type Control F5. That means you get an output. So see, you are getting output in a different window. So we are writing code in one window, you are getting output in different window. Okay, so in ideally it happens like this only. So the output gets error. Okay, the output gets executed. So since I want to show you syntax error, Control F5. So first you need to save, Control S, it gets saved, then Control F5. Syntax error. Okay, see, you are getting syntax error. So this is syntax error because the syntax is not correct. Okay, so in which line, if you want to get lines, okay, then we can go to here, options, show line numbers. Then you can see line numbers. So if any error occurs, it will show in output window with the help of line number. So in that case, you can go to that particular line number and you can edit it. Okay, so this is example for syntax error. Okay, so next one what we will show, we will take a equal to 10, b equal to Python. So here you see there is no AI integration. Okay, everything we need to do. So here for a beginner it is good to learn from the scratch. Okay, no IntelliSense. C equal to a plus b. Okay, print. You can increase this text size also. So now I'm trying to print C. So Control S, then I'll write Control F5. Yeah, you see here in output window what we are getting? Type error. So why we are getting type error? We are trying to add string and number. Okay, so string is in string type, so character. Okay, we have all name part, but whereas in integer we have one number. Okay, number and string cannot be added. Okay, so that's why we are getting type error. Okay, so this is type error. So you can save like this, or you can take new file also and then you can run. Okay, so this is type error. So right now I am erasing all these things and trying to show you. Next, name error. So in name error what happens? Okay, so a equal to 10, b equal to 20, c equal to a plus b. Okay, print print D. Okay, Control S. See, my code part is correct. Okay, so that's why it is not an error. Okay, so even though if I get error, I call it as an exception. So see, here I am getting name error. Okay, why I am getting name error? Why I am getting name error? Okay, because I have not defined D value. We are not having D value. So any variable or function that is not present, but we are trying to use it, in that case we get name error. Okay, so this is example for name error. Okay, next we will see index error. Index error. Okay, so let me take one list tuple or set. You can take list. So here 1 2.5, then let me take here Python. Okay, next, so a dot index of 2. So Control S, Control F5. So we are getting value error. 2 is not in the list. Okay, so this is I think you can take it for value error. Okay, so in value error, what you can actually I'm trying to show you index error, but here you can see we are getting value error. So let us talk why we are getting value error. Because 2 is not in the list. So is 2 value is present in the list? No, right? So if I give 2 here, Control S, Control F5. Okay, so now you are not getting an error. Okay, so in ideally what happens, you get all the outputs in the same page. Okay, so if this page is getting full, what happens? We need to close it, then again rerun it, then we can get in separate window. Control S, Control F5. Okay, so you can get it in separate window. Okay, you can get it in separate window. Okay, so a dot index is not present. Okay, so now what I'll try to show, so value error is present, value error I have shown, right? So if any value is not present, okay, in the list, we get an value error. Okay, so value error can be considered for remaining things also, for list, tuple, set, dictionary, whatever it can be. If any value is not present, we get an value error. Okay, now I want to show you print a of 0 1 2 3. Control F5. Okay, so second index is present. In second index, what in third index, what element you have? 2. So that way we are getting 2. Okay, so now let me see for index value 4. Control S, Control F5. See, we are getting index error. Okay, index error. See, I have refreshed my output window. Okay, so you can close this output window, and again Control S and Control F5 will get output window again, because once the output window is filled, it may appear some clumsy and you are not able to see all the details clearly. Okay, so this is example for index error. Okay, So we have seen for value error also, right? So now next we will see for key error. Okay, key error. So key error generally occurs where? In dictionary, right? So let me declare one dictionary. Okay, name one. Let me label it as Python. Next comma, name 2, and let me label it as Java. Okay, so here what I will try to do, print a dot value. Okay, value of, okay, print a dot, so key value, right? So print key error, right? So print a dot keys. Let me print this. So all keys gets printed. Okay, so if I give values, control S, control F5, all values get printed. So now what we are trying to see, key error. Okay, so let me see key of 3. Okay, control S, control F5. See, we are getting attribute error. Dict object has no attribute key. Did you mean keys? Okay, control F5, type error we are getting. So let me give name 3, control S, control F5. See, my output window got filled. Okay, so in that case, what we will do, control S, control F5, we are getting type error. So we want to show key error. Key error generally occurs in a dictionary. So when key is not present, okay, so name 3 is not present. So in this case, I want to get print name 3. So let me try with this, control F5, name error I am getting. So I need to show you key error, right? Control S, control F5, name 3 is getting printed. Let me remove one value and check, control S, control F5. Okay, we are getting key error. If you see the pop-up box that you have got, expression expected after dictionary, key and some value. Okay, so we get key error. Okay, if in dictionary we get key error, we can check it. Okay, so next we have seen value error, attribute error. Okay, and key error. Okay, next let us see zero division error. Okay, zero division error. So zero division error. Okay, so in zero division error, what happens? We have a equal to int input enter any number Okay, so same thing I will take for B value also, control V. So B also I will take one variable. So next I will try to perform some addition, C equal to A plus B. Okay, next I will try to print C value. Okay, so control S, control F5, enter any number 10, enter any number 20, 30. Okay, okay, so it's working with some numbers. Okay, so now I want to show 0 division, 10, 0. Okay, so in this case we need to get 0 error. Okay, so if let me run it again, control F5, enter any number, 0 divided by 20 is 0. So I think it's not working here in ideally. So but if you divide any number by 0, what value you get generally? Okay, so what value we get? We get an 0 error, right? Sorry, I performing addition, that's why I'm getting it. Okay, so now I think it will perform a given addition. I should give division, right? So 10, 0. Yeah, now you see we are getting 0 division error. So 0 division occurs when the what do you call this one, down part. Okay, if the dividend is A, right, divisor is 0, then we get 0 division error. Okay, so all these errors are occurring. Okay, in Python we are getting all these different kinds of errors. We have many such kinds of errors also. Okay, so in order to overcome all this, what we need to do, we need to implement try catch. Okay, try. So in try, what we need to do, we need to give all the logic. Okay, okay, all the logic. Next, catch, right? So we have try catch, and finally to in exception handling. Okay, so try part will have all the logic part, but whereas in catch part, okay, so catch part what will have, sorry, except, not catch, it is except. So we have except keyword. Okay, so in except part what we'll do, we'll try to handle the exception. Okay, except, we'll write an error, except 0 division error. Okay, except 0 division error, print print you have got 0 division exception. Okay, control S, control F5, valid syntax. So except 0 division error we need to get it. Okay, so let me check it, except 0 division error. Okay, so I think anything capitalized to be here, or else let us take this code itself. So let us take this code itself and try to see some try exceptions. Okay, so let us take this code. So what we are trying to do, so we need to give tab space, okay, Control S, Control F5. We need to give indentation here, Control S, Control F5. Okay, enter any number, 10, 0. So if you give these numbers, we are getting 0 division error, right? So now since we have defined exception for this, let us see what happens. This is always executed, can't divide by 0, okay? Instead of getting error like this, we are getting an exception, okay? So this is how you execute, you try to design exceptions, try and exception, okay? You see the final statement also got executed, so irrespective of the exception we got, okay? So we can comment it if you don't need, okay? You can write as many exceptions you can. So you can write an exception for except, let me first run it, okay? Enter any number, 10. I'm giving now integer. See, now value error I'm getting. So if I run again, 10, 0. In this case, the exception is getting handled. But in this case, if I am giving any string, my exception is not getting handled because I have not defined exception for that particular exception in catch block. So in this case, what we need to do? Value error, okay? So we need to design value error exception. So for that, what I will do? So except value error. So for this value error, what I will do? Print you can type any message, okay? To user, can't divide by 0, okay? Please enter integer number, okay? So I don't want this finally block to be executed, so you can comment it if you don't need, okay? If you don't want, you can comment it. Okay, this line also I don't want to be executed, so I will comment it, okay? So now I'll try to Control S, Control F5. So now I'll try to enter the number 10, then I will enter some string, can't divide by 0, please enter integer number. So now you see value exception got executed. So okay, so our except what except we have our program has selected, okay, value exception, okay? So value exception got handled, so that's why we are not getting error. So if the same program, if I run, if I give 0, if I run and give 0, what happens? We'll get 0 division exception, okay? So if I give string, I'll get value error exception. So in this case, we can define exceptions for all kinds of exceptions that we get, okay, and handle different kinds of exceptions in Python, okay? And finally, statement is used to execute irrespective of try and catch block. Okay, irrespective of try and catch block, if you want to execute any lines of code, that you can define in finally block. Okay, I hope you understood this concept. Okay, so what are the different types of errors? We have like a syntax error, type error, index value error, zero division error, attribute error, key error, okay, IO error, all these errors we had. So for these errors, we have tried to implement a try catch. Okay, so in try part we'll write code, actual code. In catch block we'll try to handle the exception. Okay, then in finally block we will write the final lines of code, what we want to print it, irrespective of try and catch. Okay, and we need to remember what is the difference between error and exception also. So all this concept we have covered today. I hope you got a clear idea on this topic, and you have learned how to use this ideally also. Okay, so ideally also you need to save the file. So in the file name, you can, by default it is getting saved by .ipy, so you can check this. You can save with another file extension also. So by default it is taking .py. Then let me remove this ipynb. .py is by default it's getting. So this is how you save, write the code in ideally, see all the features. Okay, explore all this. So for a beginner, you better start in ideally. Once you are familiar with running with 5 to 10 programs, then you can switch on to remaining environments like Jupyter Lab, Jupyter Notebook, and Colab. Okay, so I hope it is clear. So thank you all.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe VNR Digital Learning Resource YouTube channel.